But that's quite far away, because when I saw it, it sort of, the image was that big. Look, in this, way up in the sky, it was that sort of that fat. Yeah.
It was just hard to get the whole thing because the wind.
Yeah, it was too wide anyway.
The first word would start to fade.
Because it'd say happy sort of East 81. And Sean on the plaza, you know, it was happy birthday, John, Sean.
Yeah, it stretched like half the city. It was real cool.
Did
Toshi there?
Toshi! Doko desu ka?
Well, if you want to go check.
Chocolate. Oh, idea one. It was originally Paul. There's another one as he called me up and said, we're going to be in the studio and spoil those. We didn't still want a movie. And so we just, you know, how do you want to make a movie? Let's make the movie, you know. And he says, write a bit. So I just wrote dreams that I had. I'm trying to recreate that. There's one bit, the only bit I like, but I can show you is the dream sequence where they're eating. And there's a very fat lady in this English or Scottish really that Michael Putnam. And he's saying something or other to her. And it was a real dream of mine. But attitude, and people are walking over and tables. There's an elevator that comes down. This was in the dream. Comes down like one of those French ones that you can see. There's a midget. He comes down, lands right on a table, and gets out. And people are coming out of the elevator, walking across the floor. But the waiter is me. Only most people didn't recognize me. I dressed like my father and my stepfather because they were both waiters. Greased the hair back and a little pencil. You know those cheap-looking Valentino that you get in the bottle. And got this big greased hair with this crazy. Right there. And I'm shoveling the food on the table like this with all spaghetti, and the fat one was just eating it. And they're talking as if I'm not done. I'm just doing it like John Cleese, in fact. That's how,
that's
yeah,
it was a great scene.
That was my dream, you know, but he had it kind of, he said that we're going to go on this tour, you know, and it's on a bus, and here he says, this quarter, you have to fill it in. So I said, well, how long have I got? You know, you got 2 days. Oh, I have. Okay. So I got 2 days, so I'm trying to fill in he has an hour written like that, you see.
And would each of you do one quarter, or he?
Well, he was dividing up a bit like a record, you know. But the fact is he'd written about 10 songs, I don't know. There's only one John song in that film. I mean, it's entirely me. I contributed to the Mystery Tour songs. And what else is there? And coming down the steps, Mother and all, we should know. What, we're making a movie, and okay, we'll get in on it, on the act. So Walrus, I filmed that part too. And I had all these policemen on the top of those big hangars. We couldn't find the studio, so the guy got us an airplane hangar to film it, you know. And they had these big concrete blocks that apparently was to save the flames in the war. So I was doing this kind of Fellini thing where everybody, so we're all on. I'm not going to confuse myself with all these jokes. But whatever, we'll dress up with these funny people. And there's always egghead. And I had all the cops on the top of this thing. City fever. Got it, because I didn't know anything about real filming, and the cameraman apparently didn't either. Nobody else. I got into the editing room, and it's out of frame for TV. You know, so I said, okay. So they pulled it. I said, pull it into film day. And the frame starts coming back over the top. I said, okay, we'll print the crotch down below. So you see, if you ever see it, you'll see that all the sky, well, it's surreal again. The sky and the cops are all dancing underneath the group who's playing with all the lunatics walking. And that's how that was made.
When it was finished, what did you think when you saw it?
Oh, I loved it, you know, because it was a trip. So everybody was down on it, but it's all right. It's pretty. So what? So is the first album. But there's too much nothing happening. There's nothing happening at all. But there's some nice moments, the dream sequence. My mother should know some of my sequence, coming down with all those silly suits on, you know.
Did the reaction surprise you?
Yeah, but they were gunning for us before that. And what the BBC stupid idiots did, they showed it in black and white first. Can you imagine? Around Christmas on BBC Two.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look well in black and white colour. You can just about manage it, and all the kids would have been all right in colour, but they put it in black and white, and then they reviewed it in black and white on BBC Two. And then, so by the time it came to be on in colour, I don't know if it ever got on in colour, but that was the end of it. It's like reviewing a mono version of a stereo record.
Was that the most? Was that the time that the band got the most criticism in the outside?
Oh, I don't think so. The reviewer from Me to You was Below Par Beatles and the NME. So it started then. Below Par, we'd only had 2 bloody singles out.
Because everyone thinks that everything was a flame.
Well, now they think it's all acclaim, you know, and Chaplin and Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, but look at the reviews of the day, not the it's not all acclaim at all. Some very nasty bits.
After a point, though, was it pretty much?
No, never was easier. Only promoters live in dreamland think, give me a Beatle and I'll make $1 million. It doesn't work like that, or I tell $1 million. You gotta have the product. Yellow Submarine bombed out, didn't it? Oh, it's a great movie.
No, but I don't think anyone was particularly critical of it.
Are you kidding? It was ripped to shreds.
By critics?
Yeah, no, the answer was by everybody that it was because people, the kids liked it. Sean loves it now. All the little children love it. Because they expected the real pieces, but moving they weren't do a trick. So that's one delay, but still, I think it's a great movie. It's my favorite movie. Well, after look at this album, you see all the beauty.
Have you ever see them again?
No, sure, I see them again. I see them different every time I see them. Because I'm changing all the time. Every time I see them. I'm not so hard on myself. I would root when I see one of those.
Did the reaction to Hard Day's Night surprise you? I mean, it got such a good review.
Oh, no, those days they expected everybody to fall over. No, we knew what we were doing. And it's all right. Mother's the great why now? But then they used to do self-indulgent. That's the only shit you ever use now. And it's about yourself, you know. And they don't like it. But
I think we took a wrong turn.
Enough people were okay about it. I didn't need to sound $20 million to feel good. I mean, I was proud of it. I knew it was all right. But some people got very upset about it.
Was imagining?
I think it's because it made them uncomfortable about their own mothers and their own fathers and their own childhood and their own Beatles. And they reviewed their emotions about what that album. It makes you feel you can't listen to it in the background. I know, you can't just put it on and, you know, have it going on like the Stones or something. You know, the Beatles. You have to either listen to it or forget it. And you can't listen to it every other day. It's too much. You know, it's like going to see some heavy play. You don't want, if you're not in the mood, it's destroying, isn't it?
When you went in to do Imagine, how did the reaction to the first album affect you at all? And did you want to do anything different?
Well, that was sort of, after Imagine was more of a success. And then I got a bit bitter saying, well, it's just the mother with chocolate on. They couldn't take it pure.
Bob, can you let John in there to fetch it?
Also, I felt like that. That's why I didn't want to hold him. But I never had a fresh ingredient with that. And you just use it.
Busy day. Yeah, busy day.
Double check. That was strange.
Yeah, well, that was. Don't get the idea. This this was written today and put out now, and it's about what's going on now. This it's not.
Ready?
Not a. You know, it's not a Squire or Playboy or New Yorker.
Yeah, because
it's Daily News or the Daily Mirror.
Can you read the stuff?
That's meaning don't expect the typing to be all right, and there's like fuzzy, and it's the Rush edition. And it's there's no finesse on it. It's a newspaper. It's not a magazine. So.
But then by Mind Games, it was just, we were talking earlier today about that was it was hard for you to sweet lies.
Because then I was in confusion, you know, and Jesus.
But did you know it at the time? Or did you have to look back?
Oh, I knew I was confused, all right, because every time I tried to clear it, it wasn't coming out clear. It was like rewrite.
What did you think at that time? That you might I just wait another year?
Oh, I never dreamt of waiting. No.
But you always felt that you had to have.
It's like being on stage and thinking, well, it's not a good night, I better stop. You know, you can't do that. You just do it anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. So what was the feeling at
First, you see, there's the Mind Games single is fine. There's just no energy to sustain through the album, and there was no clarity of vision.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few pieces, all right, but as a whole piece, there's no clarity. And the guy is there on the front with a little bag, and she's the mountain, and the whole thing says it. The cover says more than the record to me.
Well, so when you finished that record, if it was, in a sense, not up to what you'd done the first few times, and then as something in New York was a kind of extra project, when you went into Walls and Bridges, how did you feel? I mean, were your outfits? Less than
As a bit like the voice so in the wire and ranking in the LA or something. I'm excited every time I make it. I'm always excited. I was not excited about any of them.
Okay. Pretty high on them, but you know, you can be excited but still get a soft on. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. You have those nights, and it's too bad.
For when you finished with Walls and Bridges, did you know you were going to take a break then, or
no idea? But I tell you what's funny, at the end of what for real last week,
all over just because it's a killer jockey to say I didn't know it yet. That's not saying you have to more instead of some of you partner on Victoria and what you're facing the obvious all the time, you're in the melody here. So I'm saying that's always saying that well from record man.
It just came into my consciousness. Am I saying goodbye to everything? Is this the rock and roll? Is this the picture from Hamburg? Is this it? Yeah. Just flashed in my mind for a split second, but I didn't consciously think it.
Was that on the record?
Yeah. That was the last track of that.
That's all we say for you to like the class guys, you want to wait. Is this how would I go away? No, it's hot. Beginning on the end. No, as I say, so we said farewell. I was out living like I do on many records. By the time I get to the end of the track, I thought there's all kinds of it.
Like when you said it, you were aware of what you were saying. The reasons for what?
I wasn't. I was hearing that somebody else was saying it, and I was thinking, is he saying? Is that what he's saying?
That's what he means.
But then he didn't mean that because it wasn't conscious and conceived. But then I was I had no idea of not really doing it. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So it was like a dream that you think, oh, no, and then it's gone, you see. Mm-hmm. It doesn't occur to me again until something happens and you think, is this deja vu? Oh. So when I did it, then I started remembering that. Thinking, Jesus, it's like the Mind Games cover. Was that what it was? Mm-hmm. Is that what it was saying? Was it premonition of my own self?
Doesn't matter. But when you finish an album, if you go back 6 months and listen to it, can you learn things from it? The things that you
I never do that. I always play the one just before I go in again.
Mm.
Like I played Walls and Bridges just before I came in to see what state of the art I was at then.
Mm-hmm.
And
should be tail set.
It wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. It was just miserable.
The memory of when you were doing it.
Yeah, it just brought all the misery back. But so Mother can bring all the misery of that back. It does tend to.
Do you keep up with Paul's albums at all?
No, I dropped out round about the one where there was a rose in his mouth or something. Yeah. But I hear the singles. If it's on the radio, I hear it. And I thought the Coming Up was great. And I like the Freak version that he made in his barn better than that live Glasgow one, you see. I mean, yeah.
The one that's on the album? The one that's with speeded up voices and stuff?
Yeah, I think that's... if I'd have been with him, I would have said, yes, that's the one too. And I thought that record company had a nerve changing it around on him. But, I know what they mean. They want to hear the real guy singing, but I like the freaky one. Stevie Wonder does it. Nobody moans at him.
If you stopped listening to Paul, I mean, you weren't, there was no sense of
But he was
competition.
putting so much stuff. I couldn't keep up with all that tingly stuff going on albums, just dribbling on.
How about the beginning, though, when you did...
Well,
They always got, I suppose, but I was
so full of me, centered then, I didn't give a shit what
Full of
he
what?
did,
Full of what?
Full of myself, centered, in other words.
So in a sense, you weren't
So just-
comparing as much as you might
And
have
there's no
said.
comparison for me, because it was,
I mean, comparing artistically and comparing sales-wise and stuff.
oh, sales-wise, forget it. He always had more fans than me in the cabin, so there's no comparison on that level, and the other level I don't think it counts. I think it's like comparing, I don't know, Magritte and Picasso, if you want to put it on that level, or whatever. How can you compare it?
Was there any sense of competition when you
It's,
were...
it's like,
go back, so when I got
band? Like, did you try to come up with songs that were... and did you work for, like, if you had a better song than you?
when we were all together, there was competition.
How many did this?
No. Yeah, there was always competitiveness between all of us, and the space and time.
Was there
and
any song when you
attention.
came in that you really were impressed by that was the real...
If I'm impressed, I'll run away and write one.
If you're impressed by him, you mean...
Oh, if I'm impressed by a record on the air, I immediately I want to write. Warren Beatty said that about movies. A great movie is one that makes you want to make a movie. I wish I'd made that. Shit, I'd go right out and make it.
That's like the competition of human beings, the competition of the artist.
I don't know which it is, but it's that bit. He said it, and it's right. If I hear a great record, I immediately want to make it. And I'll make one with that.
Was there one of Paul's songs that you came in with that you thought was like you were surprised they could write something that well good, or
No, he never surprised me, because it was like, you can be surprised by your brother from age 15 on. Not surprised, but I think, it's hard to detail it. It's not the real Bob holding that thing. You've got a panel over the front of it. How can you see
Where?
anything? It says RCA on the window.
I'm not looking through there. There's a TV in here.
Oh, I see. It's not like a. Oh, that's a little
I'm watching
TV.
you on black and white TV.
Oh, the old cameras you used to actually see through it, right? That police one you got me, remember? You could film in the night.
No, that had a TV in it. Movie cameras, it looks like.
What?
Unicorns, it looks like this.
Yeah. I shouldn't have known, but I didn't. I just thought, oh, silly buggers left the cap on the lens.
No, it's a sweet heavy.
What?
Here's a good piece of paper, I like it.
I will?
Yeah.
Good. File it under good tape. Like that. Yeah, Tony Allen. It was down to her shoulders. Together with but he was a little girl, which was fine by me, because I don't want all that fresh on him. I don't want pictures of it now. It was only been one of the days he took outside the house and put 3 minutes later on one down in his hip for I don't think he's going to have to do it.
patch that over 31, 32 until we were ready to gig.
It's amazing, right? The kind of you probably see him before you head back.
So it'd be pants, you know, kind of.
Yeah, and the rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Have you tried rhythm?
Yeah.
But it sounded pretty good. Oh, he's actually the quickest war I've been in.
Oh, the feeling.
What are they calling? They have a name for those short wars, don't they? What do they have? Some names for short, very quick wars.
Skirmish in China?
Yeah, like 3-day war. Didn't they have a name to it?
6 week old.
6 days.
Skirmish, I guess.
Border skirmish.
Alright.
Is Hal gonna do some tricks now?
Pretty soon.
Or you have to tell him first, right?
Yeah.
Is it absolutely boiling in here again?
Feels warm.
It's the lights, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the lights, Dodgy. Oh, no, it's okay.
No, I'm going.
Oh, okay, he's going.
That's a good cue, yeah.
To where?
Well, I thought you give me the video.
Yeah, I did.
Come off, you're not going off the
Oh,
No.
the wild track it is? Yeah, we're gonna do.
No.
Okay, great.
You wouldn't
So-
do that well.
You want to
No.
get heat off the drums?
No, lights
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
Lights.
So let's just run the one machine and then
So what you
make
want
a
to do is
mold to the
keep
drum.
31 and 32, right? Take them and put them through the gates and send a key off of let's see, 11 and 12.
Yeah.
So we're using the key decks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because somebody once asked us for